Remember back on 4x4 site? Off the clutch! I know.
Right, can we shut the door like that?
Yeah, should be okay.
It fits still. Oh. What a machine. Such a cool little Jeep. So, Ben, we've now got the rear. We've done the front. Front's finished. We've got the rear to do. And I'm hoping that the rear goes a little bit more smoothly. We have got full fitting instructions for the rear end. So, we should be okay, right? Yeah. Who knows? Okay, let's get it jacked up on the axle stands, get the wheels taken off, and make a start. So we'll rip the old shocks off and springs out, right? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Oh, actually, one thing we have to do first, just pass me that little bracket then. There is a headlight sensor on the rear of the vehicle. Obviously it senses load, right? It's there to see how much compression the rear suspension has, and it'll adjust the headlights to suit. Before we let the axle hang down off its shocks, we must remove the equivalent bracket, if there is one, off the vehicle. What we don't want to do is when the axle drops even further down, it could damage the sensor. So do that. We'll show you how. Right, Ben, let's crack on. Oh, noisy! Used.
You don't paint something without warning.
Honestly.
Nobody knows.
I'll do it now.
I think we'll do that then. Yeah. It'll still boil my kettle, won't it? I've got a kettle to go on there.
Yeah, we might do that, mate. That's actually quite a good idea.
I'm like it, and that's what we're going to do. I like that idea.
Got a few good ideas.
Yeah, no, I like that. We'll do that.
I like the plastic covers are put on the door hinges so people can't see the bolts, so they can take the door off and break in.
Alright, Ben, I'm ready.
Okay, we're going down, are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Gently.
Oh, hang on, stop. Back up again. Oh, wait, now you're getting it down.
How's the other side looking?
Yeah, you're good. That is the bracket they're on about that bolts to the diff housing here, this little bracket. 2 bolts, undo that, and then once we've fitted the kit, we'll then be installing this longer bracket. Pretty simple. Right, Ben, I need a 10mm socket and a ratchet, please. Okay.
It's still drums on the
Wow, this is flexy. Look at that flex, Ben. It's quite a flexible little. I might require. Oh, it's turning. I can't even tell it's turning or not. That's what I'll do. I'll take it off from here for now. As long as it's disconnected, that's all that matters. And maybe we can see why it's turning on the little rose joint. Yeah, it's already got a zip tie on it, as standard. It's actually got a proper zip tie on it.
An official Suzuki zip tie.
Yeah. Pretty cool. OE zip tie. Right, so that is the sensor bracket removed. Okay, I need a 10mm spanner, Ben. That's the sensor bracket bolt.
Found the drain plug for the sills.
Oh yeah?
If you're doing the river crossings. In the front of the rear wheel arch, right at the bottom.
Nice.
There's a little plastic bung you can pull out.
Do you think we'll ever do that?
No. Could be a good idea to take them out before you trip, so if you do go through it, just drain straight out again.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever do that as well?
No. You just let them fill up and then it'll slosh around for a while. And you go, what's that weird noise? Must be the fuel in the tank.
This is extremely fiddly. Oh, he's on a roll now. There we go. It's quite difficult because there's not a lot of space, especially for me. Yes. Woo! Right, we'll just stick that on there for now so we don't lose it.
I've got your other little bolt.
Cool. Right, Ben, we are sensor safe. Nice. Okay, just for reference, they're the instructions. So you can pause the video and read those if you like. That is the old bracket and it goes in that orientation. That is the new bracket that goes in that orientation. And the distance between the holes should be, in theory, an additional 40 millimeters, as Benjamin's just pointed out. Right, one bolt. Okay, shocks and springs off. Here we go. What were you saying about the metal, Ben?
Oh, Mumsy seems to think this is the sensor.
No, I didn't.
You did, because you look very confused.
I was just
So we're trying to
Stop it.
explain to her that they can program steel now to do certain things.
No, they
So,
can't.
so this one will tell you if it's going to rain tomorrow, or how high your headlights should be.
Stop it, you've been mean.
So what does it actually do, Mumsy?
It's a thing. It does a job.
It connects two things together. That's all it does. It's just a bracket between two bits.
So why are we not fitting it straight away, Ben?
Because you're going to drop the axle down as far as you can to get the springs in, and we don't want to overextend the magic sensor.
Yes.
That's right, we don't. We're going to be super careful.
The magicness of the thingy.
Okay, does that explain everything for you?
Yes.
Good stuff. You look a lot less confused now, honey. So, just preempting problems, we have a breather for the axle and actually possibly two wheel speed sensors. And the brake pipe is a bit further back. So we've got to keep an eye on those. We don't pull on those too tight. If need be, I'll undo the little bracket that holds it onto the diff. And we've got another brake pipe just here. Obviously diagonally split. That's weird, isn't it? One right over there and one over here. Interesting. Normally you put both in the same place on the axle, but clearly not this time. Right, Ben. Top shock mount. Looks to me like it's a captive bolt. And it's a 17. Yes, it is. I can confirm it is captive. Oh, it's pretty tight. Oh, I've got it. I've got it. Don't panic. I've got it. Wow. I can do your other one as well, actually, Ben. Man, there's a lot of wires under here for a little Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a ratchet with a socket would have been better because there's a bit of a bracket. The bracket protrudes out a bit, so I'm at a funny angle.
Okay.
Not a bad angle, but just a little bit. Maybe I can get that with fingers.
Got some rust on the diff already.
Oh, shut up.
Two big stone chips.
It'll be fine. It's been off-roaded. Oh, that is a gas shock. It's because it's pushing up on the bolt.
Do you reckon Suzuki have designed this with a skid plate in mind for the axle or something? Because on the bottom of the axle trim, you've got that plate with two holes in it.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a production thing.
Could be.
For the robots to grab hold of it. Wow, this is fun. There we go. Right. top bolt. Bottom one's easy. Right, bottom bolt. Yeah.
Bottom one's.
Wow. Oh, there we go.
Bottom one's not captive.
No.
But the nut spinning trick.
Yeah. There we go. I got it.
Pass me the spanner, I can break this one off for you.
Yeah. There we go. You do that side. Wow, these are good long bolts.
Ah.
I'm going to smack the camera, aren't I? There we go. Wow. Hey, we'll have to tell the insurance company now we've made some modifications. Otherwise, they'll find a reason not to pay out when I roll it down a ravine.
Oh, the way you were on a road, sir.
Oh, no. No, we're going to be on public roads. Even the beaches are public roads. So
I don't know if this was a thing last time we went on the beach, but Murawai and the one south of Murawai, like near Manukau,
yeah,
they need a permit to drive on.
Yeah, they're getting grumpy, aren't they? But no, 90 Mile Beach is still fine.
Yeah.
And that's the only beach that we do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing the one that we did, which had the quicksand on it.
Yeah, no, that was sketchy.
That was, man, I didn't think we were going to get off there. I felt I was going to be no longer a father to a son anymore. Remember that spit we rode down, thinking it was the right way to go, then it just stopped in the middle of the sea.
Yep.
and we couldn't stop to turn around, we had to like do a big donut.
Yep.
And it was really narrow. That was dodgy, wasn't it?
That was dodgy.
That was really dodgy, was that day. And then we got back we made it back onto the beach.
Yeah, on that exit it said warning quicksand on the end, like in you.
Yeah.
But not where we started from.
Not where we started from. But we were on the stop, weren't we? We were absolutely flat out trying to beat the tide going down the beach.
I'm trying not to sink.
It was phenomenal. It's a hell of a run. Can't be far off now, eh?
I learnt from your mistake and did the bottom one first, so there was no tension on the bolt.
Good idea. I was, yeah.
But that wire is in the way of the bolt. Get it on clip.
Okay, can you go above it? There can't be that much more in there. That's bad design, isn't it?
It is.
Putting a wire harness in the way of a bolt coming out.
Come on. And I can't even get another hand in there.
Yeah. Maybe I can see from the other side. I'll come round.
Come on. Got it. Ah.
You got it?
You got it? Almost had a shock hit me in the head.
Right, you got the bolt?
That's going to be a pain to get back in, that one.
Yes.
You're doing this head.
What? Oh. Well, that was joyous fun. I picked the easy side actually. Ben got the hard side, he got the short straw on that one. Both rear shocks are off. Now, in the kit, Ben, just pass me the kit with the longer bolts in it for the shocks. Just so we can show the people. In the kit, which is titled Jimny Brake, Ext and Shock, I think that's mount. Jimny Brake Extension. Oh, I've got brake extensions on this one. So, there's a good chance then brake extension bracket, only one of, and there's two brake pipes, so that'd be interesting. But you do get, by the looks of it, two new shock bolts. So what's the difference? Let's just get rid of that washer. They are longer. I would suggest because the eyelets on the old Man Emu springs are probably a bit deeper, you know. Let's have a look, compare. So they're the rears. Get bigger? They look a lot bigger, do they? They don't look bigger at all. So for some reason we've got longer bolts. At this point in time we don't know why. Thank you, Ben. Right, I am just reading through the instructions for the rear brake line extension bracket. The FK99, we all know it very well, don't we? Now, it says here, because there's going to be a bracket, again, if we hang the axle down, and you know, just drooping down, it's going to pull on that flexi pipe. It's not long enough, basically. So, again, just like we did with the sensor bracket, we need to at least disconnect it before we lower the axle. And according to the instructions, it is the brake line that's pretty much central to the vehicle. There's also another one on the driver's side, but it's the central one that gets this bracket. More on the fitment later on, but for now, let's get it disconnected. The plot thickens. So, just reading through the instructions, it says 1, remove the original brake hose retainer clip. We call that an E-clip, actually, not a U-clip. And hardline mount secure brake line. Right, so we're going to remove that, and I believe that's on the diff. And then we have to attack the vehicle with a saw or a grinder or something. It says use a reciprocating saw or a hacksaw, cut the upper corner of the OE bracket, brake bracket, bend open and remove the brake line. That's because their bracket doesn't have a slot in it, as the old Man Emu one does, so you can actually just drop the brake line through there and then clip it back up. The Suzuki one doesn't have that, so we have to cut it, bend it, and to extract the steel brake pipe, so that we're not opening up the hydraulic circuit. We don't want to do that.
So you're going to cut my car?
The old Man Emu man says we have to.
No, but that's my car. You're going to cut my car?
Yeah.
No.
We have to do.
No.
To get the brake line out.
But it's a brand new car.
It's only a little bracket. It doesn't mean much. And the good news is, you get a nice new bracket to replace the one that I've mutilated.
It's surplus to requirements.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. By the way, if there's a petrol leak, it might catch fire as well.
Excellent.
Yes. Well, the circle definitely relates to this bracket here. And that's the one we have to cut. So I don't know why they're on about the one at the top. But they are definitely on about the one at the top, I think. Oh no, hang on. I was looking at the background. No, they're on about this one. It's alright. That's good. Let's just double check it. Right. E-clip. Maybe I can just knock it off. Woohoo! Right, E-clip is off. Oh, that was loose. It'll fly. Right. Another bolt. Okay, so that should move around a bit now. Okay. Right then, could I have some mole grips, please? Because I'm not going to use a grinder. I'm going to put some mole grips on there, and I'm going to use what's called metal fatigue to break that bracket off the brake pipe. There we go. That's out of the way now. Gosh, this is a lot easier than trying to get a grinder in there. Or even a hacksaw, to be fair. And as you work the metal, you can feel it starting to lose its strength. And it's going to just rip the centre chunk out. Hey, I hope it's the right bracket.
Oh, that's what I was just thinking.
It's alright, Suzuki's got parts. We've got a welder, we can fix anything. And it's going, oh look at that. Bloody professional. Ha! Who needs a grind? See, they should tell you that in instructions. You don't need a hacksaw and stuff. You could use a pair of mole grips to do the same job. Just pass us the new bracket, Ben, will you? Please. Okay, so that has to go in. Right, so that goes, yes, on there like that. So I just need to straighten that back up again. Now we've extracted the. Okay. Where's my mole grips gone? Okay. Probably a little bit enthusiastic on the bending out of the way process.
You've broken it.
No, it's just they were going to cut it and I decided to mutilate it. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to clip the little grips on there.
Kind of. I don't know what it looked like before though. So.
It didn't look like this. There we go. Lovely jubbly. That's now
Make it lighter.
pretty straight. There you are, honey. There's a bit of your car.
Thanks.
Nice. Right, we'll fit the new bracket once another springs. So it's definitely time for springs. Right then, I think we are good to lower the axle down.
Okay.
Slowly.
Okay. Ready?
Well, just keep your eye open for any tight wires and stuff.
Well, I can only see a tow bar.
I think we're okay for now. Whoa. All right, Ben, steady. Right, I reckon that's as far as we can go with that brake line as it is. Oh, that'll do. Nice, look at that. Okay, that's mine out. Can you get yours out? Right, Ben, do you want to pass me one of the new rear springs and we can just do a comparison? Also, what's going on this bench? Oh, take your finger out. Okay. So, old spring's the one with a bit of purple on it. That's obviously a spring rating code, by the way. Different colours on springs. So, the new ones are longer. And I would say they're a fraction, only a fraction though, wider on the wire size, the gauge, but the core spacing is actually about the same. So they're not really that much, other than being a bit longer, they're not really much uprated for the rear. They're pretty much the same kind of weight spring by the looks of it. Okay, Ben, see if you can get that put on your side. Okay, that rubber.
Fairly.
Okay.
No, no more kisses. Stop it. Oh.
Right, Ben, I'm going to jack this side up to pivot the axle so you get a bit more on your side. Because me standing on it didn't work. There we go. Oh, we're not quite lined up. That should work. Right, do you want me to push down on that axle for you?
Yay!
Yeah.
And now we're going to twist it around now.
Hang on then. Let's push down again for you.
There we go.
You're in?
Yes.
Happy with that?
Have a look.
See if the tail's in the right place. If there's a step for it again.
Well, this one.
Mind your head.
Yeah, that's in the right spot.
Cool. That's all right then.
And that's definitely up top. And the rubber's in.
Jeez. Did it rain on you?
No.
Oh, you were lucky. All right, so your side's done. That was fun. Okay, there's the step just on there. And the little rubber bush at the top's already in place. That's good. Didn't let mine drop out. Okay. Oh, tow bar's in the way. Can't get me out. I mean, oh, that's it. Okay. are in.
Yeah, but you need to twizzle it
I do.
anti-clockwise.
That's it.
You're in.
It's in.
Cool.
That's it. Woo! We're done. We're not done at all. We've got loads of shit to do yet. Stupid cameras. Honestly, it didn't record the whole last bit, so we'll do it again. Ben, pass me one of those shocks over, will you? Take 2. Benjamin and Mrs. Mechanic were just discussing what this plastic shroud on the shock is for. And Ben was explaining it's there to protect the piston rod on the inside because that's a chromed finish and it runs against the oil seal inside the shock and can't get damaged. That's why it has the shroud. However, the fact it's made of plastic and not steel is good, plastic is crap, right? A little bit surprised of Old Man Emu. Why have they gone for plastic? Maybe because if it gets an impact, it'll flex and take it back to its original shape, and steel would bend and stay bent, and that would cause it to bind on the shock. I don't know. It just feels crappy, to be honest. Sorry, Old Man Emu. Steel shrouds, in my book, are much, much better. Now, we're going to fit the shocks next because we want to lift the axle up a little bit. When Ben was fitting the coil spring on his side, I was having to push down on the axle and didn't realise how tight the driver's side rear flexi pipe was getting. And looking at it now, it's still pretty tight. So if I was hanging on that with my body weight, it wasn't doing any favours. So I would suggest, before you fit that driver's side rear spring, you undo those little C-clips, top and bottom of that flexi, just to allow the metal brake pipes to provide a bit more length, basically, and just take the pressure off it, because, you know, you've got to learn from my mistakes. That's why we do these videos, right? But there was no mention of that in the instructions, so we weren't to know, but it was something that we overlooked. Right, now, on the rear shocks, we have a longer new bolt from Old Man Emu, and it also comes with a little washer. Okay, it's probably about 2 mil thick, and the reason for that is the shocks are a larger diameter, so they're fitting that spacer to allow some clearance. Now, that washer goes between the lower eyelet of the shock and the mount on the axle. Okay, it just goes in there, look, that's that middle arrow. And without it, you might have a problem, so don't forget. Okay, Ben, you ready to fit the shock?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, we'll crack on. Stop the press. We found some more stuff. In the little click bag, there are 4 really thick washers, which are the correct diameter for these large lower shock bolts. So I would suggest that possibly goes somewhere else. And we don't know where yet. It might be on the front shocks.
No, because it was with rear shocks in the rear shock box.
Oh, was it?
In their own separate compartments.
Okay, okay. So, I don't know. Watch this space, we'll let you know. But I'm pretty confident these, because they're so thick, these are. So I'll give you 2, Ben, in case you need 2.
Is there 4 in the pack, is it?
Yeah, and I've got 2 as well. So, oh, and you need to use the original Suzuki nut on the Old Man Emu bolt. They don't give you new bolts. And yes, we also use that, and it goes on in the concave orientation, as you can see on the diagram. That is in that orientation, so the concave side goes towards the bolt head and the convex side goes towards the shock. How accurate was that? Right, ready? There you go, you'll need one of them. Okay, here we go. To the Jeep.
I'll be quite grateful for that in 5 years' time. My head's too big. That's gonna be tight.
Your turn to swear now.
I suppose with the shocks, actually, Where the plastic is actually quite well protected. There's a lot of things around it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a long way up, isn't it? Right, thread that through there. Honey, we're going to buy a hoist.
Yes.
I can't even get my arm in. Right, there we go.
Oh, I remember this one's got the bloody wire in the way.
Oh, I didn't remember that bit.
I forgot. Bolted up on the backside.
Yeah, somewhere up here.
Bend the bracket a bit.
Oi!
Nobody's ever going to see it.
These all the structural integrity you can get. The good news is I can edit this.
You can.
Make me look really good.
You can edit it so we have like really skinny arms and we can get into these places. Hot arm keeps getting stuck.
Oh, I got it.
How did I get the last time that arm up there? Okay.
It's quite disconcerting how close the exhaust it has to go. And how plastic it is.
True.
I'm going to use my long reach.
Oh,
I'm not. Oh, it's not going. It's not going to go in.
come on, Chuck, what are you hitting?
Right, 17, wasn't it?
It was. I've got them over here.
The ratchet's better than.
For you, maybe. I don't think I could get in with a ratchet on this
Oh, I
one.
know what I'll use.
Not really you.
I'm going to use this ratchet. This is cool. 17. Got it?
Almost. Yes.
Good man. Like. Okay.
I may or may not have bent the bracket out of the way.
Oi. Don't tell the customer.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Oh, look at that. Nice. Long reach ratchet then. 120 teeth. Listen to that.
Wow. How many teeth have you got left?
Not that many. Jim, one of the viewers sent it in. Beautiful ratchet.
Is that the American one you showed me?
Yeah,
It didn't nice.
I think it's a gear wrench from memory. I have a few ratchet spanners that they like.
How long are these threads? Are you going to tell me I'm going to have mine done up before you?
I think actually, Ben, there is a possibility. I'm going to zip tie this cap to my head in a minute. There we go. There we go. Click. That'll do. Okay. Wow. How are you? Done?
It's in.
Is it in there?
Done. Can you just see the thumbs up?
Yeah.
Towards the rear.
Okay. I'm going to go straight in with 2 spaces.
Oh, yeah. You can see why they need it though, can't you? There's a lot going on down there. Okay, so original big washer, concave to the nut, through shocky, as they call them in New Zealand, because they're too lazy to say shock absorber. You're getting thirsty, are you, honey? Did you have a washer with your nuts, or just straight on nut?
You didn't get me a washer?
No, I don't think there was one. There we go. There we go. It was easier. And what torque setting did you use? Okay, just one or 2 ers. Okay. Right, I can do that. I can do that. In fact, we'll cheat a little bit because it's already down here.
Oh, you get 2. 3.
Yeah. Click. That'll do.
So, what's next, Andy?
Right, we've got a pile of bits and the brackets. Let's see how it's going to go on. The pictures and the diagram are not particularly good, actually, to be perfectly honest. Whoa, I'm a bit short of space. However, it looks like I need both arms. Looks like it goes on like that. So we'll get the bottom bolt in first. Is that a captive? It is not. Right. One bolt in, another washer, and a nylock nut. I think I'll hammer back, might be easier. There we go. Washer is on. Come on, Mr. Nylock, you can do it. There we go. Nylock is on. Now, the next one is another one of the same bolts. This time, we have a little spacer plate that goes on the back. This is going to mount it through where the brake pipe used to go. And we need a nylock belt for that as well. Okay. See if we can get that in. So through the slot, plate on the rear, and we can do another washer really. Hang on. Yes, we've got a spare washer. Right, washer. Wait, yeah, we're close. Washer's on. And now the nylock on the back. So all of this is still loose for now. But you can see now how it fits onto there. Now the brake pipe itself through there, and it says to manipulate, so we'll do some manipulation. There we go. And it just wants, so we'll put the E-clip on, the E-clip on once that's tightened up, so we'll get those two tightened up now. Then we can refit the this bracket here. That's easy enough to do. That just goes down there, on there like that, and this one bolts through here now rather than down here. Wow, that's going to be a good jump. We can make that work there. Okay, let's get those two tightened up. Ben, can you pass us a ratchet with a 10mm socket on it, please? Okay, we're going in. There we go. Really need a hoist. I could be stood up doing this. Yeah. No, I don't have time to do that. It is the way I want to fit it. Yeah, the relay and that stuff. And I've got a trailer to wire up. I haven't got time for that. It's not a critical component. So. Right. Way. Okay, that's that one tight. Let's see if we do this one.
Because if I'm coming from the top,
I think that's tight.
straight towards the end, I'm going to move it down as well.
It is. That is tight.
And then
Okay.
this time it's actually from row to row.
You got one on those pliers, Ben? So. Right, E-clip time.
And it's where you go past that like campsite bit.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was more
You can go in from the side, doesn't have to go in from the
I
top.
was racing another ute. Way more power than mine. He was catching around
Can I have a hammer?
a hammer?
I just need to give it a little tappy tap
Magic
tap,
hammer?
I think.
Magic hammer, hammer and go
Normal hammer, please.
in this drawer. Yeah.
Big one or little one?
Little one, please. Right. Perfect earthquakes. We're almost there. There he is. Right, that is done. And now we can do some manipulation. I don't like that bracket, it'd be a lot better off on my news.
You could do what? Just cut it down there.
There we go. That's what we want.
Sauce it, have a sauce.
Next bolt through the hole. There we go. Not too bad. Can you see that? Only just.
It will droop a smidgen once it's under its own weight.
Oh my word, that's never going to go on there. Not like that. There we go. Okay. There you go. That's a better angle. So it clips in. Those two are tight. That one's off camera now, but those two bolts on the side are tight. It's got that one to do. It should be fun. Nearly there. They're quite long bolts, actually. Right, tweaky up time. There we go. That's not going anywhere. Right, that's all good. Plenty of movement on the flexi, and the brake pipe looks reasonable at the moment. I think we'll just push him in a little bit. There we go. Okay, that bracket up there now needs to go on. So we've got one of the original bolts for that. There we go. Wow, this is really awkward. Can we get round it that way? Yes, we can.
Quite interesting to see actually if one of these kitted out with the lift kit and decent wheels and tires and diff locks from behind for a rear. This is an original one to the same build.
There we go. We're in. Oh, you know what that means, Ben?
That means the elevator matrix has come down and everything gets shut.
That's the one. That's what I always think of as well. Can you get me a 10mm deep socket? I think I might do. Actually, no, I'll be alright. I'm alright. There's enough clearance. I'm alright.
Oh, you're on the ingredient. The newest matrix doesn't actually exist.
Hey?
You know the new one that came out like a year or so ago?
Yeah.
We're just going to discount that one. It doesn't actually exist, right?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, don't.
Is it that bad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have lost nothing then.
You haven't got anything first.
Man, they're tight.
I'm actually really disappointed in
Let's
you.
bend that bracket down a bit. There we go. There we go, that's that done. I'm going to bend that one up a little bit. Bend that down a bit. There we are. Bit more movement on those wires now, because those are the wheel speed sensor wires, and that would be really bad if they broke. Really bad, actually. That's better. Okay, that works. There's plenty of cable up the top actually. I'm going to pull a bit through. There we are. That's better. Heaps of slack on there now. Whew. Right, we've got that sensor bracket to do, haven't we? That looks just like a TPS.
It films a clip of us too.
Oh, that's good. So it uses both cameras.
Yeah. So you can have like silly expressions or whatever you. Oh, while he's doing.
Oakley dokley. Right, sensor bracket. Here we go. One bolt in there. This is easy, this bit.
That's good. So it uses both cameras.
There we go. I'll tweak that one up. There we go. Right. And lastly, the arm for the sensor. Okay. Pretty sure it went that way around. Yes, it will do. Okay. Get the nuts on. Dum dum dum. Now this was a pain to do up, was this one? Right. See if we can do any better than undoing it. Ooh, nearly. There we go. Sensor bracket done. Nice. Right, we stopped for a pie. Wasn't bad. It was bloody hot there. So a quick recap. We've done front springs, front shocks, rear springs, rear shocks. We've done the little bracket that allows the brake pipe not to get too stretched, the one in the middle. I would have liked to have seen a bracket for the driver's side rear brake pipe as well, but we didn't get that in the kit. And we installed the little bracket for the headlight sensor at the rear of the vehicle. Basically a load sensor, and it's a suspension compression position kind of sensor thing. At this point in time, you should have left over one of those that came off the vehicle. That's the original sensor mount bracket that fits onto the rear axle. You should have 2 nice long bolts, which I'm sure you'll find another use for one day. Don't throw them away. We've got 1 original Suzuki M6 by 16 bolt. It's a flange head as well, very useful. And we've still got these 2 unknown washers. Now, Ben was saying there might just be additional spacers for the lower rear shock mounts to space them away from the coil springs. They're pretty close, are those shocks to the rear coil springs, so we may whip those bolts back out and stick these extra spacers in, if you know, or use them as spacers. Don't know where else they go. We found another box. We've got more stuff to do. It's not over yet. Now, in this box, this comes with FK96 instructions. This is the rear Panhard bracket kit, and also the rear bump stop mount extenders. It basically raises the bracket on the chassis so that the bump stop, basically the suspension doesn't over compress. All right, so in the box we have another bag of bits. We have, if I can get into it, I think these are the bump stop brackets. Yes, they are. Here we go. Ooh, a bit weird. Right, get rid of that. We have 2 bump stop brackets. Very, very simple to install. We'll be doing those a bit later on. But first, we're going to fit that rear Panhard rod bracket, because at the moment the rear axle will be slightly shifted to one side, to the centre line of the vehicle. Because it's jacked up, of course the Panhard rod works in an arc, and it's going to be pulling the axle to one side. So, hang on, find something sharp, bear with me. There we go, that works. This bracket needs to go on to correct that now that the vehicle sits, 40 odd mil or 50 mil higher. Get rid of that, don't need that. This is the bracket, very smart. It looks quite intricate, so we've obviously got a bit of work to do, and the good news is we do have the instructions. So let's take a look and see what we need to do. Right, instructions. So the Panhard rod bracket. Jack up the rear of the Jimny, it's already jacked up, and you can remove the rear wheels, which they already are, so we'll do that. Loosen the upper Panhard rod right hand side, the bolt that's basically the Panhard rod where it joins onto the chassis. We've just got to loosen that one, and then unbolt the lower Panhard rod, which is on the left hand side, so where it actually connects to the axle. We've got to unbolt that. Oh look, we've got to remove the lower left shock bolt again. We just put those on. Okay, that's all right, we can take that back off again. So we'll go and do those 3 things, and then we'll carry on. We'll have a look and see what's next. Bom, 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 bom. Oh, it is a 17. How lucky is that? There we go. Okay, as per the book, that one is loose. Super job. Right, Ben, you just work.
You're not giving me any work to do yet.
Okay. Right, when you go, can you remove the bolt that holds the Panhard rod to the axle?
You want it all the way?
Yeah, so it will completely. And then, because you've got the same span, I need to remove the lower shock bolt on that side as well.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's captive.
Cool, yeah. Thanks, Ben. Right, if you do the shock from the other side, so I can get into and move the wheel speed sensor away. So
What, you want me to lie underneath?
Yeah, from underneath.
Okay.
Right, said Fred. We also have to remove the wheel speed sensor from. I can't get underneath. It's all inside, isn't it? So I'm going to need a little special tool for that. Bear with me. Was there no nut with that bolt? Was it captive?
It's captive.
Nice.
I thought there was a nut, so I put a spanner on the captive bit.
Can you pass some torch in, please, behind you?
Oh my god. Have we got anything to tap this bolt through?
Just wind it out with your impact wrench.
Bthing, impact wrench.
Oh, your mummy's going to struggle. So, impact wrench and a 17mm socket on it, please, honey.
Oh, there's a 17 on it.
That's better, isn't it? Okay. Go in. Oh, right, that's that clip out, which is good. Super job. Well, the axle's hanging on that, isn't it?
So do you want to get the...
Yeah, I'll get the jack. That's why it's tight. There we go.
That should do. Oh.
That's better. Super. Right, there are your spacers. Let's not lose those. Need those. Okay, so that can come out somewhere. We'll go find the bracket. In fact, we need to read in the book now and see what's next. Okay. Right, so we've done that, and that. Shock is off. The axle is supported. Only on one side, obviously. Don't need to support both sides, really. Right, next step says here, remove the left-hand side rear lower control arm. We call that the hockey stick, or the training arm in the UK. The nut, so remove the nut and retract the bolt until flush with the arm. That is incorrect. It should be until flush with the bracket that holds the arm. So we're going to push the bolt through until it's flush with that surface, because the bracket we're going to fit, the new bracket, goes over there and uses that bolt as one of the mounting bolts. Now, install the Panhard bracket. I'm sure Panhard is one word. Manipulate the bracket whilst pushing the lower control arm bolt through. Loosely fasten the lower control arm push nut. Oh, they don't make these things very simple to understand. That's why we do videos. Videos are a lot easier. You just watch the video and then all of a sudden you know exactly what you need to do. And, old Man Emu, we don't use coarse metric bolts on vehicles. This should be a fine metric bolt. Look, you've done it again. And again. Come on. Raise your game, people.
Yep.
That's going to work.
That's going to work.
Okay, let me get you that big.
Can you get in with the thing you want?
Maybe.
This is a bit faffy.
Okay, it's in undo.
A little bit faffy, we end up with bolts everywhere. Okay, we're on.
Right, wait. Okay, you're on.
We're
So
on.
I've got to hold this side. Okay, go on. Mind the phone.
I know, I can see your phone.
Jeez, that's close. My poor phone. Just give it a bit more of a gap.
I'm not going to hit your phone.
No, but I'm not worried about you damaging the phone. It's just that you move the camera angle. There you go. Keep going. That's it. Keep going. You can hit the toe bar all you like. I don't care about that. Right.
Okay, that's probably finger tight now.
I think so. Excellent. Now, as per the manual, actually as per not the manual, we need to retract that. Tell me when it's flush with the bracket.
Flush.
Cool, that's that bit done then. Super job. Right, real speed sensor mounting we've already done, that's gone. Install the Panhard bracket. Manipulate the bracket whilst, that means hit it with a hammer probably, whilst pushing the lower control arm bolt through. Okay. Loosely fasten the lower control arm bolt nut. Bush nut. Right, we can do that. That's over there. You didn't see that bit. Okay.
Right, Mr. Ben.
should go on something like that, if all goes to plan. I did say manipulate. There we are, look.
Push your bolt through.
There you go. Can you get your nut on?
Push it through a bit more. A bit more.
Oh, that's it. Oh, no, there you go. It was stuck on something.
Yep, that's on.
Right, now we've got another one to put through this bit here. Right, Ben, we're going to fit this bolt back in there, and it's captive. But we also need to insert that tube into there, look, as well. So if you're tube master,
I can hold that.
I'm going to put some of these this Forge aluminium paste on everything. It's actually completely invisible given the colour of the bolt. God, that'd get someone, wouldn't it? If you put it on a bolt, this bolt, and then didn't tell them, and they picked it up, they'd curse you because they'd have silver fingers for about a week. Okay, so that goes through the bottom one. There we go. It says just to leave it loose for now. Loose is good. Okay, that's that bit done. Let's go and find out what's next. Hokey dokey, we're cooking on gas now. So that bolts in with the sleeve. Turn another page. Now, we've got 2 more bolts, washers and nuts to install, which will be these 2, which are a coarse metric with washers, 10mm. So that's going to be that one there, look. And, oh, that one there, look. Super. Oh no, wrong bolt. Hang on a minute. 2 different size bolts. That's weird. M12 and M10. And the nuts. And the nuts are a nylock. Lovely jubbly. So there's a nut. And there's a nut. So we should have 6 components in total. And we do. Right. Back to the Jeep. Right, Ben. The top one is an M12. So there's your M12 nut. You can, will that just sit on there?
Apparently I'm falling off it with the head.
I might do that actually, might it? Okay, that wants to go in there. That's for the nut. Can you get the nut on there?
On where?
On the bolt that I just put through.
I didn't see a bolt.
Yeah, it's right down here.
There. Oh my god, okay.
Maybe I can get it from here actually.
You
Oh,
probably
yeah.
will.
Jeez. That's okay. Long nose pliers might be useful here. Not these ones though. The ones that are straight would be nice. So maybe, just maybe, we can get down there. Trying to work blind. Can you open my eyes, Ben? Can you?
Yeah. There you go. I can apply that way pressure.
Okay.
With a finger. You should be on the nut now because I can feel you touching it. Does it feel like it's going in the threads?
No, it's not going through.
Okay. Let's just stop twisting for a second. Because your nut's swiveled, that's why.
Yes, it's very tight under there, isn't it? Go on, you can do it. You take control. Is it good in?
Yeah.
Right, cool. Right, and then the bottom one, which is an M10, a coarse metric. Yeah, 1 nut. Want me to turn it?
I can't even see that one.
Not making it easy, are they?
Ah.
This is I'd be lying right directly underneath and looking up and then dropping everything on my head. So the word manipulate in the manual then basically means this is going to be an absolute arse of a job. Is that it?
They're both on, but not done up tight.
Okay, that's cool. We can cope with that. Perfect. What's next? Right, it's fair to say that's an arse of a job, isn't it, Ben?
It's a bit fiddly.
Understatement of the year. Okay, next bit. Loosely install. Everything's loose at the moment. Loosely install the Panhard rod lower into the bracket using these. So, I think these. Does it tell us what these are? It does. Jeez. 6151250, 3 of. 6151250. 6151250 bolt M12 by 1.75 by 90. Item 3, one of. Check. God, I sound like James May. Right. Oh, I see. This isn't the quantity. This is the reference number on the table. So number 4. That makes it easier. Number 4, flat washer. M12 by 1.75 thick. Is it that one? Or is it that one? That's thicker. It's not that one. It's that one. Okay, cool. What else do we need? We need number 5. Number 5 is... oh, a nylock nut. Coarse metric. And lastly, number 10. Spacer washer. 12mm by 25 by 3. So 25 is the OD, 12 is the ID, and the thickness is 3mm. So one of those. Okay, we've got what we need. Lovely jubbly. And do we know where the spacer washer goes? Probably on the inside. We'll find out. Okay, so the plan of attack here is we have this bolt to go in, and we have 2 washers. So if we put those 2 washers in, we'll get rid of the nut and the bolt. If those 2 washers go in there. Obviously, we have to take up all the clearance on the bracket. So we've got loads of clearance. Look at that. That's not going to work, is it? Oh no. It's like a little money box. I'll get the magnet. Can you get them? Oh, there's one. I'm going to get some more washers, because I think we're going to need them.
I'm struggling to know if it actually exists or not. It's just disappeared into the ether. There is no washer. Surely it would have come up.
Have you got both of them yet?
No. Well, were they both identical?
Yeah.
Or
One was a thick one, one was a thin one.
Okay, so that is in there.
Cool. I brought some more just for fun.
That's why we couldn't find it with the magnet.
Oh man. Okay. So looking at the diagram, the picture. This bolt has a washer with the head. That makes complete sense. I know we're not in focus because it's on focus fixed, but anyway, there we go. That goes there. Now these are the spacer washers, and it says in the thingy we only need 1, but by the looks of it, I reckon we need 3 of those. So Ben, if you take that for a second, I'm going to put some magic copper paste, silver paste, aluminium paste on this bolt.
Before you get too excited with your copper paste,
It's already done. What?
I can see a problem.
A problem? What?
Try getting your bolt through that without any washers.
I just push the axle over.
Yeah, give it a good push.
There you go. Rah! Okay, so that's gonna. I'm just gonna push it a bit more. You ready?
Yeah.
There you see, it will do it. Good. So you can see now, and it did come with 4 of these washers.
Okay, well 2 each side would sound about right.
You're not gonna get. No, you're not gonna get 4 in.
Really?
We're just not gonna get 4 in there. But the question is, do we put 2 this side and 1 this side, or 2 this side and 1 this side?
I'd put 2 this side so you're further away from the shock.
Okay. I think that's a logical decision there, Ben. So you pull the bolt out, and I'll put the bolt. Hang on, no. Let's get the bolt in first with that one on. Oh, I have a spare one. Don't worry. We're doing well with washers today, aren't we? Right, now I will then. There we go. Right, now you need to back your bolt off a bit. Torchy! Oh, God. Okay. Right, I've got 2 here. And I need something to lever. There we go. Right, now oh, hang on. This is going to be interesting. With the camera in the way. Right, can you push bolt? That's 1, 2. Right, push again. Hang on. Panhard rod, twist up, push bolt. There we go. Holy moly! One of them. One of them. Right, I'm just going to go and check the drawing and see if that looks about right. I'll be back shortly.
Hey! While Andy's doing that, check out my Instagram page, Till Girl Holly.
Right, according to the diagram, the two washers need to be on this side, Ben, not this side.
Oh, okay.
So, we need to change it. And it was fun, so which means we get to do it all over again, right? We get to have more fun.
Get it out, it's going to be harder than getting it in.
Okay, I'm going to just push the axle your way a bit. Okay, now stop. I don't want those to fall down the hole. Alright, ready? Okay, cool, that's what was intended. Alright, steady. Steady, right, I want one of them washers back. That. Okay, go through. Lovely. Right, come back a bit. Washer. Hey, hang on. We're not even in yet. Wait for the prompt. Oops. Okay. Bear with me. Right, go. Okay, stop. Go again. Hang on. Go on. How's your hand feeling?
It's fine.
I get told off on video for doing that kind of shit.
Oh.
Right. That goes on there. That goes on there. My concern here, and Ben rightly so has mentioned it as well, is we've got about a mil gap. So when we tighten that up, it's going to bend this bracket to clamp it up. And I don't have any 12mm washers at all. A 1mm one would be great for in there. Because the last thing you want is that to be loose. It has to be tight. Has to be tight. I might go have a look for another washer. Okay, I've found a washer. So let me surgically offer it up without using my big numb hands. Whoa, that was lucky. We've lost washers down there for minutes. Right. Do you think we're going to get that in there?
No. It needs to be about half that thickness.
You think?
Yeah. Because also you can see the rubber, not so much a gap between the little steel tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other option is we just go, you know what, we've done exactly what we've been asked to do in the instructions, let's just tighten it up.
Send it.
Send it. Okay, let's go back to the instructions and see what's next. Right. That bit is all loosely assembled. So, oh, Ben, we get to tighten some stuff up. 85 Newton meters for number 1. Where the hell's number 1? OEM 12. That one is also 85. So both the two M12 bolts, everything M12 is 85. Oh, that one's 87. Yeah, and that one's 87. Why would they make it different? Shock bolt. Shock bolt? 95 Newton meters. That's monstrous.
At least those instructions have torque, right?
Yeah, at least these instructions have got some torque settings. Okay, so you've got to torque your other side one up, Ben, as well, don't forget. Okay. And we've got to tighten them in the following order. So the first one we tighten up, Ben, is the OE, it's the original M12, number 1, which is that one that went through it was the bolt that originally had the bar through it, the lower control arm bar. Yeah. Let's go and do that. Okay, this one's captive, isn't it?
Yeah.
You were saying. This is getting very tight. Jeez. Bloody hell. To save moving the camera around all the time, the next one to do is the LCA Bush M12, so the lower control arm M12.
So the main hockey stick one.
That one. So I need to come in. That's captive again, isn't it?
No, there's a nut this end. You bolt head that end.
Oh, okay. You hold the nuts.
There you go. The
And I'll turn the bolt. The non-ratcheting thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Try that. Right. Okay, that's that done. Right, Ben, the next one, according to the instructions, number 3 is the M10 by 30, 51 Newton meters. That's this one here. So I'll just adjust the camera so we can see what's going on. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Set the focus. Done. Okay, so this one's 51. So let me just back off my torque wrench. Don't you fall asleep. 51. Okay, right, I'm good to go if you are. Probably going to smack the camera, but anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm on. The nylons,
Right.
aren't they?
I have to get an extension bar, and I think this might be the wrong size socket. 17. I think dumbasses have gone for a 6. They have. Oh, God! M10, 17 mil, not 60. Honestly. Why would they do that, Ben? Everywhere else in the world, an M10 is 17 mil spanner size.
Maybe for job logs with only one socket.
Well, that's just tough shit. They can go out and buy the tool set. That doesn't stand.
Hang
You're
on,
on.
I'll come off.
I don't know, probably. It's straight on really easy.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm on again.
You're on? That feels better.
Yeah.
Right, that was that one done.
And the next one, what above it?
Yeah, the next one is number 4. Yes, which is the one above it. Which is not that size. Which is not that size. So it should be a 19 because it's an M12, right?
Ah, okay. Can you get me a 19 spanner then?
Yeah. Now, once it's tight, do you think you'll be able to get the spanner back out, or is it going to come part of the Jeep?
We'll find out.
Now, what was the torque on this?
55 again, or was it more?
No. 87, so I'll just nip it up and I'll set the torque rate.
Yeah.
There we go. So this one, 87 Newton meters.
Yeah, I will be able to get that back.
Not 85, 87. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
What have you done?
It's a bloody 18! What the hell? They should be automotive flange head bolts that are fine metric anyway. Coarse metric bolts have no place on automotive vehicles. Right, you ready?
Yep.
There you go. You can try and get that out. Well done, but only just, right? Okay, what's next, Mr. Ben? So we've done number 4, we've done number 5. Number 6 is the shock bolt.
Oh, okay.
So what else have we not done?
Oh.
That one. Number 5. Oh, hang on then. No, we've done 3 and 4. That's number 5. Number 5, M12 by 90. That sounds about right. So that's Elsa 87. I used to sleep under the Unibog. Sometimes.
No, but Unimog's still on trade me for like 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
40.
I think it was about 40.
I'll have 2 of them. Be right. Right, so this one, this is the lower Panhard rod mount, and it's 87 Newton meters. And it's going to cause the bracket to bend a little bit.
Does that mean the one on the other side that we loosened off is 87 too?
I'm sure they'll tell us that. Jeez. And again. Jeez. Okay. Right, what's next? Is that it?
Let's try.
Oh, no.
So
Shock 95. Right, Ben, put the shock back on.
you've got the bolt.
I have one bolt. No, oh, there's the nut. There you go, one nut. You want to go up with the Jackson more, yeah?
Just a little bit. Oh.
Beautiful. Right, whilst you're doing that, son. How the hell is that going to work? That's not going to work.
What's not going to work?
Well, very kindly on the new bracket, they've put a little slot here for the wheel speed sensor wire to clip into. But what they've failed to appreciate is it's a half-blind hole, and this clip has to go through all the way through the steel for it to actually...
Sounds like you need a zip tie.
It's not lined up. It sounds to me like we need a zip tie. I think you're right. That's a bit crappy, isn't it? Because it's not going to go in that hole. It needs an oval hole. The oval hole is going to get halfway through it because it's misaligned. Well, bugger. It's just not going to go in, is it? So I think we'll just zip tie it on. That's a bit crap, is that, to be honest? I wasn't expecting that. So do we just zip tie it to the brake? I think we'll just cable tie it to the actual brake line. Mister, I think that's the best option. Way earthquake. Do you want the impact wrench to wind it in?
Well, the problem is they're not parallel.
No, they're not.
It's like the axle needs to roll, or the shock somehow needs to.
Is that a
like
cable tie thing through there? Oh, it is. There's the little ratchet thing, look. Right. So what can I do to help? Can't you just wind it through with a fuzzy buzz?
Yeah, that's what I was going to try next.
Yeah, what size socket is
17.
There you go. Give that a go. I'll go and find some cable ties.
There we go. Okay. Ready for you to put your torque wrench on.
Hang on then, let me just get rid of this little clip thing. Is it a one-way? I'd rather try not to destroy it. Ah, it's in there, look. There he is. That side is going to taste so good tonight, Ben.
Not the homebrew one.
Oh, we could try that.
Yeah, I want to try it. It won't be particularly well carbonated, but it should taste alright.
Oh, I can go with uncarbonated cider.
First batch of homebrew.
We're nearly there. Many people would have snipped this by now.
I would have snipped it straight away. I got no patience for that. Because it was going to draw on a never.
Okay, right, here we go. I can't bother anymore because the ciders. We've just been talking about cider. The important thing is not to snip through the cable. That would be bad. Right. Okay. No, it doesn't. But hey, listen, it's not my fault. Old Man Emu failed on their brackets to align everything properly.
Besides, we're just fitting more genuine OEM Suzuki zip ties.
We are. Yes, these are
Because Suzuki likes those.
obviously from Suzuki parts catalogue.
Yeah. Because you've got a Suzuki one here, and a Suzuki one there, and a Suzuki one there.
What?
It's holding the wiring to the tow bar.
Well, it's holding the ABS sensor wiring, which is very important.
That one is, but Mumsy was on about this one.
Oh yeah.
That you can see.
Right. I think that will do just fine. No point going mad about it. Gonna get ripped off on a rock anyway, or a branch in the river. Right, Ben, I've got your forehead. We're filming your forehead, and that's about it.
Hello. You're going to see it go purple soon.
That was the plan. Right.
I see.
Go on then. You gotta try to do 95 upwards away from you. That's be good going if you can do that. That's a proper lift, is that?
Fingers.
Careful. Oh, careful. Just take your time, no rush.
Open hand now.
I don't think I could do 95 up like that. I'd stop at that.
Okay.
I'd stop.
Well, that's not 90.
I think it was starting to stretch.
You reckon?
Watching what was going on, it didn't seem to get any... as you were turning it, it didn't seem to get harder and harder and harder and harder, then go click, right?
No.
It just seemed to maintain the same torque throughout.
So you reckon 95 is too much for those?
I think 95 is too much for those. Okay. Last thing I want is that to shear, don't we? Because we haven't got another one.
No, you don't.
And that would be a problem. Oh, Ben, was that when you slipped the torque wrench?
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Shit. Okay, medic! Holy crap. Sorry, Ben. The shock bolts. I would strongly recommend that you don't do them up to 95 Newton meters because that one was just starting to stretch. Game over. So we aborted mission. And it is what it is. The other one's tight enough. Oh dear. Benjamin said, hey, don't forget to tighten up the Panhard rod where it goes onto the chassis on the driver's side. And I'm reading through the instructions and it goes, do the shock mount. Number 6, we aborted mission on that one. And then it says to fit the ABS wire clip in the new hole on the new bracket, which doesn't work because it's not a bottomless hole. So the clip won't work in there, so we had to zip tie it into place. And then it goes immediately on to how to fit the bump stops. It mentions nothing in here on how to and the torque setting for the chassis end of the Panhard rod. Oh dear, there's going to be a lot of little Suzuki Jimnys around going clunkety clunk 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 when they go around corners, isn't there? I'm going to tighten mine up and I will tighten it to... What was the original one at the other end? I imagine it's going to be the same. 85 Newton meters. So we'll go and do that, and then we can do the bump stops.
85.
Okay, and have we got a spanner? I need a 17 spanner.
17.
So it's back on 85, yeah?
Yep.
And you locked it on the handle?
Yep.
Cool, yeah. What the hell? That's a 19. Can I have a 17?
17.
Try another one.
That's a 17. It's a ratchet, but it'll do.
Okay. Fancy not tightening this up in the instructions. That's damn right dangerous. Cool. That side is one step closer. Okay, all that's left to do now are a couple of bump stop extenders. Ben can do one, I'll do the other, and then we're finished. Right, Ben, so we've got 4 of those, so I'll have 2, you have 2. We've got 4 of those, so you have 2, and I'll have 2. And we've got 4 nuts, so I'll have 2, you have 2. And we've got 4 little springy washers, so that's 2 each. Cool, so they're all yours. Look, these are mine. And what does Mr. Instructions have to say here? Well, optional, put it on jack stands, it already is. Take the wheels off, yes, for easy access. Install stuff. So 12, 13 and 14, take my word for it, they will be the bolts, the spring washers and the nuts. And the large plain washers as well. So actually they've got 4 components. 1, 2, 3, 4, but they only list 3. Nice. Okay, so we've got the, by the looks of it, bolt comes down. Yes, so the bolt, I'm going to show this now because then that way, because you won't be able to see it very well on camera, and it's for Ben's benefit as well. The bolt goes through there like that. Where are we? There we go. Like that. Are we focused? Probably not focused anymore. Hang on. I'm going to put the light on.
You're almost right.
Man, it's...
Oh, you have put the spring washer on? Good.
Yeah, so we've got bolt, spring washer, plain washer, then through the bracket, and then all they're having on the other side of the bracket is a flanged nut. Like that. There we go. So, something like that. There we go. Right, Ben. That's for you. That's yours, probably. I don't know. To the Jeep!
So where's that going? On the top of the axle?
Top of the axle on that square plate.
Cool. We'll be fighting over 10 more spanners.
Right, the phone is almost flat, so we have to rely on little Torchy to give us some light. My sincere apologies. It's been quite a long day for a number of reasons. Okay, so these are the 2 holes that we need the bolts to go through. Yes, they're different sizes. That's just the way it is. So,
Oh, that's flanged. Cool, I need to do that.
that's that bolt in. Getting the nut on is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Ben? Yes, that looks about right to me. Okay, and then we've got to try and get that one in. Which is going to be very difficult. There was me thinking that this would be... Oh, it's gone in! That was pure luck! It's about time we had some luck with this job.
Oh, man.
Getting the nuts on will be fun, though.
I've got the bolts in the hole, but turning the bolts to get the nuts on
Yes.
is...
Who came up with this as a good idea?
If you had fingers half the width.
I'd be very suspect that you can't even get a nut on there. Under the axle.
Not really.
Hang on, I'm going to show the people. Old Man Emu, I would like to meet in person, if you wouldn't mind, the person that decided... Oh, it's all out of focus. Yes, the person that decided that I had to get down there and put a nut on that bolt, and at the same time rotate the bolt to get the nut to start on its threads with my size fingers. This is going to be almost impossible. Yes, so one of them you could do and then slide the thing in,
That's
right?
exactly what I've done. So I've got one in.
But I've got both my bolts in now. I don't want to take them out. This is just stupid. I mean, you know, mechanics don't have little fingers, right?
No, they've got sausages because they beat them up all the
We
time.
have sausages. And even if you can get the nut lined up without knocking the torch or your camera, because obviously everybody's going to film this because it's so bad.
Everybody's a TikToker or a YouTuber now.
Yeah. I mean, credit where credit's due, but this is shit. And there's not enough room on the slots to put both bolts in and then wiggle it either way, is there?
Exactly what I've tried already.
I mean, why couldn't they do what normal people would do and extend them out for the bump stop at the top?
Yeah, that would have been so much easier.
You know what I mean? I mean, what that would be...
A big thick washer in there.
Yeah. You'd go mental doing this bit.
What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result?
But the other problem is, you know, you're out on the trail and one comes loose.
When you just drive it out of the bolt.
You're going to throw it as far as you can, aren't you? Because there's no way you're going to go under your vehicle and tighten these bolts up.
Hey, you know these axles?
Yes.
The plate that we're trying to bolt is already like 3 or 4 mil thick. Why don't we just tap that? Or just drill a hole in it.
I think it's just overall dumb, to be honest.
I agree.
I think it's just stupid. I mean, sure, I can get one in, like Ben was saying, like that. Well, I can't even do that.
No.
That's just, it's just dumb, isn't it?
I can get the bolt to drop in without a nut there, but I can't get it to twizzle and go into a nut.
Well, I don't think there's enough clearance off the axle, to be perfectly honest.
Actually, there's another valid point. If I hold it in place with a ring spanner, the ring spanner is going to be permanently a fixture.
Can't use a ring spanner.
Yeah.
There, right, I got one.
I've got one.
Yeah, but I was miles behind.
You were.
I was grumbling. Right, and then we put the plate on. This is most definitely a bloody afterthought. Is this bit? I'm not joking. It really is. I mean, Man Emu, they're a lot better than this. They could have come up with a much more cunning plan.
They could have. Or they could have done what Toyota did and worked with aftermarket companies as they're developing the vehicle.
Yes. Yes. Please don't do that. That will be a bastard. Instead, you could do this. Oh, wow. That's a great idea. That's going to help people immensely.
Is it in?
Oh, no, because I've got the nut here.
Right, I've got everything in apart from one nut.
Well, I'm in the same boat. This could be a boat we're in for a long time.
Oh God.
Hang on, we'll just stop. Have we got a super powerful magnet that when we turn it, it'll turn the nut?
No.
Can I not get in with the spanner?
No. you can't. Like, you maybe get half a turn.
Right, I'm going to make a management decision here. I think you've seen enough of our pain trying to fit these rear bump stops. Whoever designed that, honestly, right, these vehicles are off-road vehicles. Things break out on the trail. There is no hope in hell's chance that you'd even try and tighten those bolts up in situ on the trail. It begs belief. Why not make a spacer for the top bump stop and just lower that down by the same amount? Doesn't need the plate on the axle. Plus, you're adding to the vehicle's unsprung weight, making it worse off-road. Come on, people. Just no need, really, is there? Right, we'll get these done. We'll show you them done. I'm going to put my phone on charge so I can use the flash again. See you shortly. How you getting on, Ben? No, that says it all, doesn't it? Good luck with that. No way I'm recording this. Absolutely no way. There'll be far too many beeps if I'm recording this.
Maybe you should record it and not put it on YouTube and just send this bit just to ARB. Sorry, not ARB, on Man Emu.
I think they're all to blame.
Guess what, Shrek?
You done it?
Yeah, I've just got to tighten them up now.
I've just got to find me other nuts.
Have a good rummage, you'll find it. Okay, time to do it up.
Where the hell is it going?
It doesn't help that they're black nuts. bit harder.
No full stop, isn't it, really? It has to be down there.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Na, 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 na. It is, but I'm winning, so I'm happy.
Okay, let's get it now, look,
Well, mine's on.
Are you on, Ben?
I'm on. I'm done.
Woo! Ben is done! Da 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 da!
I don't know how the fuck you do that. What a piece of shit. Ben, can you get me the magic hammer, please? Mr. Zill's clout. Is that what it needs? Your side needs a hammer, mine didn't.
because I'm slightly off centre. Mother.
Oh no, we're recording again. I want it did then.
I won't mind, it actually doesn't sit properly there because it lifts at the other side. Because both bolts are on one side.
It does, maybe might have been a bit more trickier than yours. Yeah, because he's got that other thing in the way.
Yeah, Ben put it on the other side. No way. Done.
You're done.
That was a one-sided problem we thought that. Old Man Emu. You bastards. That's all I can say. They're in. Let me give you a little tip. Once you design something, right, and I know you're the designer and you're there with your CAD drawings and you're on your nice desk with your aircon and stuff, wonderful. Go down to the workshop and fit it yourself. That was really stupid design and you've made a mistake. That's the bolts that you supplied to fasten that little bump stop plate to the axle. They're too long because the threads then start to foul the axle casing and take the paint off, which will cause rust. Okay, so your bolt, which of course you know is 20 millimeters long, out of focus. The bolt that you should have recommended and provided with the kit is 16 millimeters long. Okay, so please change your kit, or better still, why didn't you not make an extension for the bump stop at the top end, rather than all that fiddly stuff down by the axle with stupid little M6 bolts? Just dumb. You know, if they work loose on the trail, that plate will just get lost. Why not have a decent sized plate at the top end just to bring the bump stop down? Simple, really. It's just little thing. All the rest of the kit's great, but that, it's not right, is it? Anyway, it's done. Let's go and take a look. Right, this is the side that Benjamin did. And yes, he did it before me. And it is an absolute shit because you cannot get a spanner in this end with the bolts that you supplied. You can't get the ring spanner in, you can't get the open-ended spanner in. You have to lock it with a flat screwdriver, which is not ideal. So there you go, like you can see now that your bolts would have been too long and they'd have fouled on the axle casing. Oh, going around my side. Boom, boom, boom. This side was much more difficult because I had an extra bracket in the way. That's why it took me longer, Ben. Not because I lost my rag with it.
What about a small one?
There you go, look. Done. And done. But still not a great idea, because what happens actually as well, this end of the plate's completely unclamped. It's not, there's no bolts on this side, they're all on one side. So there's actually a little tiny gap developing between the bracket that you've supplied and the actual axle itself. So I just think it's a bad, all round, that's a bad idea. Why not just make a spacer up here, look, on your lathe, with a thread at the top, you know, and a female thread at the bottom, and you could just put the spacer in, spin your bump stop back on, and you'd be in the pub by now. What do you say?
Rant over.
Yeah, sort of. Ben, come over here, because you're actually in the video, not out of the video. There we go. Oh, my phone, honestly, just keeps sliding down now. I'm going to have to fix this one before my next video. Right, hold on there. So, Ben, the viewers of, I think they've got a pretty good idea about my feelings towards that kit. How did you find it?
Which toddler designed it?
I concur, good sir. I really do. Oh, crap. So, that is how to fit an old Man Emu lift kit to a Suzuki Jimny Generation 4 from 2019. Did it go to plan? Not really. There was a few little hiccups along the way, and some instructions of fitting the coil springs and the actual shock absorbers themselves would have been really helpful. We didn't have those, so we sort of bumbled our way through using previous knowledge. This phone's going to jump off the mount, I'm sorry, it really is, to get us through the problem. But it's done. All we've got to do is chuck the wheels on, and then we can have a quick look, see how the Jeep sits, eh? Should be pretty cool. Right, back shortly.
Now then, crew, Tall Girl Holly here. Don't miss the next live stream, 8:30 AM Sunday.
Tripod is fixed! It is! I found another clamp, so third time lucky we got one that works and isn't broken or cracked. Ben, have you put those wheels on yet?
Yep.
Excellent stuff. Can you close the garage door for us? I hate the neighbours watching what we're doing. Oh, here we go. Side view of the Jimny coming up. And you've both done extremely well to put up with my patience today, because it's been very, very thin.
There's going to be lots of beep.
All because of Mr. Emu. The old man has tested my patience today.
Bolt-ons.
You've seen the front. Look at that. Look at that. That is a proper little Jeep. Absolutely spot on. It's a bit hard to see, to recognise the difference, but it is substantially high. Mrs. Mechanic, would you like to get in the vehicle, please? See, this is the proof of the pudding to see how much higher off the ground it is.
A minute.
It's like getting into a Patron now, isn't it? You have to launch yourself. Very good. Right, Ben, thank you for your help. I do appreciate it. It turned out to be a lot more of a job than I thought it was going to be. We thought, oh, we're nearly finished. A couple of little brackets and we're all done. We're finished for 2 o'clock. It's now 4 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, do you want to open the garage door? Let's get this Jeep out, and then I can sign this video off. Now, honey, when you drive out, you've got to be very, 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 very careful with this bit against the mirror. Okay? So take your time. If you do crash the Jeep, you'll be the first person to crash this vehicle. No pressure. Oh, does it do that? What the hell? I didn't know it did that. Steady. Just watch what you're doing. Steady. Go straight. Steady. Oh my word. Oh, you got heaps of room this side. The mirrors go back out. Oh man, it's posh. Yeah, to your left, please. Ooh, that's gonna be close. Oh my word, you clear. Nice. Right, don't go far because I've got to torque the wheel nuts up. Jeez. Can't get the staff, honestly. Well, there you go, crew. She's all done and it's going on a road test. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it super helpful. It didn't just include torque settings and stuff, it also included real life struggles with certain parts of the kit getting it all fitted. And it was all, you know, real. We didn't make any of it up. What we came across, we reported on this video. All in all, it's done. That's all that matters. I had sort of allocated the whole day to do it because of filming. It does take a lot longer when you're filming it. And there's a lot of footage to get through as well. So, you know, editing the video up will take a while as well. But if you enjoyed it and you want to watch more videos, why not click on the subscribe button? Ring the notification bell, and that way you won't miss out on any future videos. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Feel free to communicate through any of those portals, or you can email me directly, and my email address is down in the description of this particular video, and I'll try and get back to you. Now, if you want to support the channel, and it'd be great if you could, you can do that through PayPal or Patreon as well, and both links are in the description and on the homepage of the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. In the banner at the top on the right hand side, there's some little tiny icons, so click on there, send us a few bucks, you know, or just give us a thumbs up, or even why not spread this video through your social media. Just share the video on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and get the word out. There's lots of little Jimnys out there. I'm pretty sure there's lots of these lift kits to fit, or similar jobs like this as well. I'm sure this video will be quite helpful towards those people as well. And that's about it. I'm knackered. I've got to crack on with the pod. It's going to be a very, very long day. We're way behind schedule. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching and putting up with my little bit bad temper today. Apologies. All right, crew. See you around. Cheers. Over and out. And you get the flag up again.
Oh!
Really?